I found out I was dead. From a stranger's DM that said, "Hey, weird question, but aren't you supposed to be dead?" I was scrolling TikTok on my lunch break, half listening to a podcast, when the notification popped up on Instagram. New message request from someone named Hannah.Widow, with a tiny broken heart emoji in her bio. At first I thought she was a scammer, or one of those spam accounts that try to sell you tarot readings. Then I opened the message. There was a screenshot attached, my ex-boyfriend's profile, my face, and over it, in big white letters on a black background, "It's been 1 year without you, Ava. I miss you every day. R.I.P. my angel broken heart 1997 to 2023. Likes, 3,142. Comments, stay strong, King. She's watching over you. True love never dies. I almost dropped my phone into my salad. A year without me. I was very much alive, sitting in a break room chair, with Caesar dressing on my hoodie. My heart started pounding so loud, I could hear it over the podcast. Hannah's message continued. I'm so sorry if this is upsetting. My boyfriend Logan told me his previous girlfriend died last year. He posts about her all the time. I just found your tag photos. And you're clearly alive. I don't know what's going on, but I think we need to talk. Logan. My ex. The guy I'd blocked and erased a year ago. For my own sanity. Apparently, I was his dead girlfriend now. To understand how absolutely on brand this is for him, you need to know who Logan is. Logan is the kind of guy who introduces himself with a trauma story before he tells you his last name. We met at a mutual friend's bonfire 3 years ago. I went because my roommate dragged me there. After my own breakup, he went because there were mores and sad girls. His words, not mine. He was sitting on a log, telling a group of strangers about the time he almost died in a boating accident. He showed the scar on his ribs, like it was a war medal. I rolled my eyes so hard, my forehead hurt. Of course he noticed. You don't believe me? He asked, grinning. I believe you, I said. I just don't think near-death experiences should be your main fun fact. He laughed. Later that night, we ended up talking alone by the fence. Underneath the theatrics, he was charming. He listened. He had a dark sense of humor, and he understood the exact taste of bitterness that comes after being cheated on. People always leave, he said. That's why I hold on so tight when I find something real. Back then, that sounded romantic. Now it sounds like a threat. The first 6 months were honeymoon highlight reel material. He brought me flowers just because. He wrote long paragraphs about how I saved him. He posted couple pictures with cheesy captions like, "Didn't believe in fate until I met you, Dizzy." My friends loved him. My mom loved him. My therapist said, cautiously, that he seemed very emotionally intense. And maybe I should keep my own hobbies in space. Spoiler, I did not. Because the other thing about Logan is that he made being with him feel like a movie. Late night drives, random road trips, crying together over sad songs in the car. He turned our arguments into scenes, our reunions into montages, and slowly, without noticing, I let him become the entire plot of my life. The first time Logan killed me, it wasn't literal. It was digital. We've been dating about 8 months. I posted a group photo from a girls' night, where I wasn't wearing the necklace he'd given me. He didn't like that. When I woke up the next morning, my Instagram was gone. Just gone. Login error. Account doesn't exist. I freaked out. Checked my email. Saw a string of notifications filed at 3 a.m. Your password has been changed. Your email has been changed. Your account has been deleted. Logan slept soundly next to me, phone face down on the nightstand. I shook him awake. Did you mess with my Instagram? I asked. He blinked, put on his best confused face. What? No. Why would I do that? Later that day, when I was crying about losing years of photos, he sighed dramatically and admitted it. Okay, fine, I did it, he said. You looked so happy without me on those posts. And there were all those old pictures of your ex. I just snapped. You're always saying you want a fresh start, right? Now you have one. I should have left right then. Instead, I let him hug me, let him call himself crazy but in love, and made a new account. That was our first funeral. He buried my online life. because it didn't center him enough. I thought it wouldn't go further than that. I was wrong. Fast forward another year. Living together in a small apartment. Joint Netflix account. Shared toothbrush holder. Logan's intensity had shifted. From romantic to suffocating. He wanted to know where I was at all times. If I didn't text back within 15 minutes, I'd get, "Did I do something? You're pulling away from me. I feel like you're dead." Irony. He didn't like me hanging out with coworkers, especially male ones. He accused my best friend, Mia, of turning me against him whenever she suggested I take some space. The climax came on a random Tuesday night. I was late coming home from work because a client meeting ran over. My phone died on the bus. When I walked through the door, Logan was pacing the living room, eyes wild. "Where were you?" he demanded. "Work," I said, holding up my dead phone. "It died. My charger was in my locker." He didn't hear a word. "You didn't answer for 2 hours. 2 hours, Ava. Do you know what that feels like? When you've lost people." I thought you were gone. I was ready to call hospitals. We spiraled into a screaming match. He accused me of cheating. I accused him of being controlling. He punched the kitchen cabinet so hard. He split the wood. I packed a bag, went to Mia's apartment, and told him I needed space. He texted, called, sent voice notes sobbing, showed up at Mia's building, until her neighbors threatened to call the cops. Finally, I told him, "Logan, we are done. I'm blocking your number. Please don't contact me again." And for once, he listened. Or so I thought. I blocked him on everything. Changed my number. Moved into a studio a month later. I treated that relationship as something I'd survived. What I didn't know was that Logan had decided if he couldn't have me, no one else would either. Not even as a story. Back to Hannah's DM. My hands were shaking as I typed back, "Hi, I'm very much alive. When did he say I died?" She replied almost instantly. "He told me you got into a car accident about a year ago. He said you were driving home from a night shift. A drunk driver hit you, and you didn't make it. He posted about it a lot. I can send screenshots if you want. Accident. Night shift. I used to work late shifts at a coffee shop, 20 minutes from our old apartment." The story was close enough to reality to sound believable. Hannah continued, "I only checked the tag because he still talks about you sometimes, and I wanted to see what you looked like. When I clicked your name, your profile is private, but the profile picture is new, and you're tagged in recent posts from other people. So I Googled you and found your LinkedIn, and I don't understand." I sat there staring at the screen, my brain trying to catch up. Somewhere out there, Logan was telling people, I died. Not just we broke up. Not things didn't work out. Dead. RIP posts. Anniversary tributes. I told Hannah, "Can we hop on a call?" She agreed. Her voice shook when she picked up. "I am so sorry," she said. "I swear I'm not trying to cause drama. If he lied about something like this, I didn't want to be the only one knowing." I asked how they met. She matched with him on Bumble. His bio said, "Widower. Trying to remember how to live again. Be patient with me." He told her his last relationship had been the love of his life, that I died suddenly, that he'd held my hand in the hospital and read me my favorite book. As the monitors flatlined, I nearly choked. Logan hates hospitals. He once fainted getting his own blood drawn. But Hannah didn't know that. Why would she? She told me he cried on their second date because the song playing in the restaurant was my favorite song. He wore a bracelet with my initials on it. He said he couldn't take it off yet. Hannah thought it was sweet. Now she thought it was disgusting. "I feel like I'm complicit in something sick," she whispered. I rubbed my eyes. "You're not," I said. "You didn't know. He did. He wrote a whole fanfic about my death, so he could be single, without looking like the bad guy." The more she talked, the more a pattern formed. Being a grieving boyfriend gave Logan everything he loved. Attention, sympathy, built-in excuse for mood swings, and conveniently, no awkward questions about exes showing up, because according to his story, I couldn't. After the call, Hannah sent me screenshots. Logan's profile was public, but he had me blocked, so I couldn't see it myself. In the screenshots, he'd gone full Oscar-winning widower. An artsy black and white photo of my hand in his. Caption: hold your loved ones a little tighter tonight. You never know when the universe will rip them away. A picture of the highway at night. This road took everything from me. A blurry photo of my old coffee shop. Used to wait for her behind that counter. Now it's just another place that hurts. There was even a short video of him sitting on our old rooftop, eyes red, talking to the camera. Grief changes you, he said softly. Nothing matters the same way. People tell me to move on. But how do you move on when half your soul is buried under concrete? I had to pause the video because I was torn between rage and laughter. Half his soul wasn't buried under concrete. It was at Mia's place, eating microwave mac and cheese, learning how to be single again. My friends and family knew very well I was alive. This fake funeral was targeted at his side of the internet. Acquaintances, coworkers, new dates, people who had no direct line to me. He found a pocket of the world where he could sell my death without anyone fact-checking. And he milked it. Donation links to drive safely charities. Quotes about love and loss. Storytime lives where he answered questions about what it's like to lose your person so young. He turned me into content. The more I looked, the less I believed that Hannah was the only one. Grief is a powerful hook. I could see Logan using it over and over. So I asked her, does he still follow any of his exes? Anyone he calls a friend? Who comments a little too much? She sent me a few usernames. One stood out, Jess remembers, with a rose emoji. Her profile was private, but her bio said, you were taken too soon, broken heart, #driveaware. I asked Hannah if she'd ever met Jess. She came to one of Logan's, remembering Ava dinners. Hannah said, he says she was your childhood friend, and they stayed close after you passed. I did not know any Jess. I made a burner account, followed Jess, and sent a neutral message. Hey, random question. How did you know Ava? I saw your bio. She replied within an hour. We didn't get to meet in person, she wrote. I was dating Logan when the accident happened. We were long distance. He and I drifted apart after. Watching him grieve was a lot. My stomach dropped. Logan had used my fake death to end another relationship gracefully. No breakup, no accountability. Just, I'm too broken to love anyone now. I told Jess, I'm Ava. At first she thought it was a joke, in very poor taste. Then I sent her a picture of my driver's license, with sensitive info covered. Silence. Then, oh my God, he told me he held you while you took your last breath. I rolled my eyes so hard, they almost left my skull. Trust me, I wrote, if Logan had been there while I took my last breath, I'd have come back just to haunt him. Jess wanted in on exposing him. So did Hannah. We created a group chat, Dead Girl Society. 3 women, brought together by one man's fictional tragedy. We could have just blocked him and moved on. But the more we talked, the angrier we got. This wasn't just, he lied about being single. He told detailed stories about my supposed final moments. He used my name to gain followers, money, and access to women's sympathy. He even started a TikTok series, Storytime, losing my girlfriend at 25. Thousands of views. Comments like, you make me believe in love again. If my boyfriend doesn't cry like this, I don't want him. You deserve the world, King. We decided he deserved a reality check instead. Conveniently, Logan gave us the perfect opportunity. Hannah sent a screenshot, an Instagram story flyer. A night for Ava, 1 year in heaven dizzy. Small gathering, sharing memories. Hosted at a wine bar downtown. Open invite for anyone whose life she touched. He tagged Jess. He'd messaged Hannah privately, inviting her as his rock. He hadn't tagged me. For obvious reasons. I was blocked. But the event was public. We made a plan. Hannah would accept the invite and show up with a friend from work, aka me. Jess would arrive separately, with another +1 for support, and act surprised to see me. We'd let him start his performance, record everything, and then introduced the guest of honor, the girl who stubbornly refused to stay dead. The wine bar was the kind of place that overcharged for olives and dimmed the lights to hide everyone's pores. My hands were sweating. As we walked in, Hannah squeezed my arm. "You can still walk out," she whispered. I shook my head. "No. I've been dead for a year. Tonight I want my body back." Logan had reserved a back area with a long table, candles, printed photos of me from years ago that he'd pulled from mutual friends' feeds, a little frame sign, "In loving memory of Ava Parker." I wanted to throw up. People were milling around, holding wine glasses, speaking in hushed tones. Some I recognized from his old circle. Others were strangers. When Logan saw Hannah first, his face lit up. He pulled her into a dramatic hug. "Thank you for coming," he murmured. "Tonight might be rough." Then he noticed me behind her. For a split second, his brain didn't compute. I watched it happen. Eyes flick from my shoes to my face. Recognition. Denial. Panic. He went pale. "Ava!" he breathed. Heads turned. I gave a small, awkward wave. "Hi," I said. "Heard you were throwing me a party." You could hear a cork pop in the next room. Someone dropped their fork. Hannah stepped aside, letting me move forward. "Surprise," she said weakly. Logan blinked, opened his mouth, closed it again. Then he did what he always did. Adapted. He forced a laugh, though his voice shook. "Wow. Okay, this is crazy. Obviously Ava's alive. This was supposed to be a symbolic thing, like letting go of the old version of her. You know, a metaphorical funeral." I raised an eyebrow. "Cool metaphor," I said. Didn't feel very metaphorical. "When you told Hannah I died in a car crash while you held my hand." Hannah lifted her phone. A little higher. "Recording." Gasps around the table. "Just stepped out from the crowd." "Or when you told me you watched them pull the plug," she added. Logan's head snapped toward her. "Jess, what are you?" She folded her arms. "Hi, Logan. Funny how your dead girlfriend looks very much alive and is wearing the same necklace. You said you buried with her." All eyes were on him. He flicked between us, looking for an exit. That didn't exist. "Okay, listen," he said, holding his hands up. "This has gotten out of hand. Yes, I said some things that weren't technically true, but grief makes people creative." I offered. "Delusional," Jess added. "A walking red flag," someone muttered from the side. He glared at me. "You left, Ava," he snapped. "You disappeared. You blocked me on everything. Do you know what that did to me? I woke up every day, not knowing if you were okay. I thought you could be dead in a ditch somewhere. So yeah, maybe I leaned into that feeling." My voice stayed calm, which almost scared me. "Leaning into a feeling is writing bad poetry," I said. "What you did is tell dozens of people that I was literally dead. You posted my pictures. You made up hospital scenes. You chase girls with widower in your bio." Hannah spoke up, voice shaking. "You told me your therapist said I was the first person you'd let yourself care about since losing Ava," she said. "You used her death as the reason you couldn't say I love you back." Jess nodded. "You told me you couldn't handle long distance after what happened to Ava." She said, "That's why we broke up." Other people started chiming in. "Did you not think any of us might know someone who knew her?" "My sister's in your DMs right now, Logan. She says you told her the same story on Hinge last month." He spun around, eyes wide. The room had turned. His carefully curated audience had gone off script. Logan tried one more angle. He looked at me, eyes glossy. He was always good at crying. "Ava, please," he said. "You know how messed up my childhood was. You know I've lost people for real. I didn't do this to hurt you. I did it because it was easier than admitting you left me." I thought about all the donations he'd collected in my honor, all the nights Hannah spent holding him while he wept over a tragedy that never happened, all the strangers online who used my face as their idea of true love gone too soon. I thought about my digital funeral, and I realized that for him, My death had never been about me. It had always been about him. I took a deep breath. Logan, I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. I'm not here for you. I'm here for them. So I'm going to say this once. I am alive. I did not die in a car accident. No one pulled any plugs. You were not at my bedside. You used my name and my photos to make yourself a victim and to manipulate women who cared about you. That's not grief. That's exploitation. Hannah put her hand on my shoulder. Jess lifted her phone. You should probably say that last part one more time for the camera, she said. I did. Logan's face twisted. You're ruining my life, he hissed quietly. You faked my death, I replied. I'm just correcting the cause of death. We left. People followed us out, one by one. By the end of the night, Logan was alone, at a table full of candles and printed pictures of a girl he didn't own anymore. The fallout was messy. Hannah broke up with him that night. Jess blocked him. The night for Ava photos never made it to his feed. Within a week, 2 more women reached out after seeing Hannah's TikTok about the man who faked his ex's death. Turns out, I died in 3 different ways: car accident, hit and run, and mysterious medical complication. He couldn't even keep his own lies consistent. We reported his donation links as fraudulent. A couple of them were taken down. His follower count dipped, then tanked, after Hannah posted the video of me walking into my own memorial with the caption, POV, the ex your man cried over. Turns out to be very much alive. It went viral. People stitched it, duetted it, made jokes about Schrodinger's girlfriend. Some said we were cruel for humiliating him in public. Others said he deserved worse. I stopped reading after a while. What mattered to me wasn't the internet's verdict. It was the feeling of having my story back. For a year, in corners of the web I never saw, I'd been someone's tragedy, a prop, an excuse. Now, at least, there was a counter-narrative, the girl who came back to life and crashed her own fake funeral. Hannah, Jess, and I still have our group chat. We renamed it Back from the Dead. Sometimes we send each other screenshots of men's bios that say looking for my angel, and reply with, please define angel, and whether she's currently alive. As for Logan, last I heard, he'd moved to another city and made his profiles private. Maybe he'll come up with a new persona. Maybe he'll learn how to be honest one day. Either way, that's not my story anymore. I'm busy living the life he tried to bury. And the best part is, if anyone ever tells me I'm someone's dead ex, I can smile, take a sip of my drink, and say, funny, I feel more alive than ever.